1, 2, 3, 4. As long as there's a chord progression going by, you can always choose to solo over it using arpeggios as opposed to using scales. And of course you can mix the two. But let's get right to it. We're going to play over a chord progression in the key of A minor. One, two, three, 4. A minor pentatonic. In this approach to soloing over this progression, we'll be using strictly arpeggios. Some of them will have the sliding moves in them, some of them will be stationary. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 1, A minor. These are 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Again, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Measure 2 is G sharp diminished. 3 E and a 4 E and a. Again, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Measure 3 is G. 3 E and a 4 E and a. Again, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Measure 4 is D, a D chord with an F sharp bass, but it's basically just a D chord. 3 E and a 4 E and a. And a little faster. 3 E and a 4 E and a. Measure 5 is D minor. Three E and a 4 E and a. Measure 6 is A minor, non-shifting. Let me count that off. 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then in measure 7 we have an F chord. 3E and a 4E and a. Again. 3E and a 4E and a. And B diminished, the last measure. This is triplets, going into 16th note triplets. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. That would be major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, diminished 7, half diminished or minor 7 flat 5, minor 6th, major triadic, and minor triadic arpeggios. Really covers the whole spectrum of all the arpeggios that one might need. It applies to all styles. This book enables you to solo over any chord progression using just arpeggios. This book is a manual of arpeggio fingerings, all of the arpeggio fingerings as they exist on the guitar neck, in non-shifting forms where the hand stays in one position, in every position for a given arpeggio, as well as sliding arpeggios where the hand is moving along the length of the neck using slides, which adds a real melodic flair to it. And so every arpeggio, whether it's the non-shifting or the sliding arpeggios, they're all presented in a constant flow motion. That's what we're going after here.